Holly Rowe, who has been watching this from a very good seat, well, actually, maybe a good position because she's standing most of the game, joining us. Holly, I'll spare how busy you are because I know you are because I've seen you 100 times today, all over the world on television. But thank you for making time. And before we get to the social significance of what is at stake here tonight, let's talk about what happens on the court and how you anticipate this really exciting meeting. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. I think it's going to be an awesome game. I think both teams have significant strengths that are very different. Caitlin Clark is someone who can score. She's had a career high of 49 points this year, and she can go off at any moment. She can hit threes that at any moment that just change the complexion of games. But she's got a really solid team around her. Kate Martin, who is a senior, a sixth-year senior, has a ton of experience. And actually, everybody on Iowa, for the most part, can hit threes. So if Iowa hits threes, that could be very challenging. But then you look at the LSU Tigers. Number one, Kim Mulkey is fiery. She gets the team to play that way. And Angel Reese is just phenomenal. I don't think we have paid enough attention all season long to what Angel Reese is doing on the basketball court. She has something insane like 26 straight double doubles. She has been their leading scorer for most of the season. Angel Reese puts this team on her back and just wins. I'm working on a piece right now that we're going to do in the game, hopefully, about what a winner she is. She won 3 championships in high school, 2 in volleyball, 3 in basketball, a national championship. All Angel Reese does is win. And with the emergence of Flage Johnson, I just think they have a lot of really key scores that can make this interesting. So just so much good basketball. There's so many storylines. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, Holly, the one thing that gets lost a little bit to most people, not you, but is the game itself. Having covered the story for many years and having covered the game last year, just try to put it all into perspective for us, as I'm sure you've been asked to do and will be asked a few more times today.
Yeah, I think, LSU is a team that is pretty much just trying to rebuild their program under Kim Mulkey. This is only the 3rd year that Coach Kim Mulkey has been there, and they're trying to kind of rebuild and find their identity. This year, their identity is some key transfers. They really only have 3 players on this roster who played in last year's national championship game. So just wrap your mind around that. This isn't the same LSU team that took the floor in this matchup last year. It's a lot of new faces, but they're experienced. Anissa Morrow had a great career at DePaul. This is her first NCAA tournament. Haley Van Lith has played in the Final Four for Louisville, but she had a tough go of things against South Carolina in that matchup. So it's all new for LSU, but they continue to be big on this stage. They continue to show up in big moments. And I think that's a really cool storyline for the LSU Tigers.
Holly, there's a country song from about 40 years ago about Barbara Mandrell about being country before country was cool. You were an advocate and a proponent of this game before all of us suddenly embraced it like last night. But I'm curious what you make out of every single thing that has gone into this college basketball season for the women. And we have a guest on in a few minutes who said this morning on NPR that this is the biggest game of the year in basketball. Not to pit men versus women, but I really am curious what you are making out of this story that you are living and dying every day.
Yeah, number one, it's really cool. I think there's been a group of us who have been just beating the drum and pleading for people to pay attention to women's basketball for so long. And this moment feels really special and cool. Like you all finally get to see what we've been seeing all these years. But some things have happened too. I think the emergence of social media that has allowed these players to be seen more, and the public gets to decide what they click on social media. And we've seen that there is an appetite and there is an interest for women's sports, not just basketball, but across the board, women's sports are booming. The public is having their say. But then we are seeing some generational talents. Lisa Bluter, the Iowa coach, who's done a phenomenal job, said something at shoot around today. She said, Caitlin Clark came along at the perfect moment. Someone of her scoring ability and kind of the flash and flair and flavor that she plays with, it was the perfect moment. And she said, I'd also include Angel Reese and Juju Watkins and some of these other great players in that. Is the ascension and the rise of the interest was there, but then the performance of these athletes has just elevated it and they keep showing up, they keep performing, and I just think it's cool. One of the things I've been blown away by all year, all of these attention on Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, they have found a way to still perform in the biggest moments. They don't have bad games. They don't have terrible games. I think you can count on one hand the bad game that either one of them has had all year, and that they're able to perform under the scrutiny is incredible. And I want to read you this quote so I get it right. But today at shoot around, I talked with Caitlin Clark, and she said, I think Angel Reese is great. I have a lot of empathy for what she's going through, the criticism that she receives. We are all celebrating the growth of women's basketball. And she's one of the few people in the world that can understand this microscope, and how they kind of shared that no matter what they do, some people love it, some people hate it. And I think it's really special that these two women understand the moment that they are in. And Angel said today at practice, I thought this was really cute, Paul. She said, I will always remember this moment. Tonight is going to be one for the ages, no matter what happens, and I get to be in it. They understand how special and how cool this really is.